The WTO is extremely important because whatever is decided here, you have to apply to 153 members. So obviously the WTO processes are very important, but what is also happening now are bilateral agreements, like the EU-India Free Trade Agreement, for instance. The EU and India have been negotiating for several years now, and they were hoping to finish by the end of this year. Extremely problematic is the amount of trade liberalization that the EU wants, which is up to 95% of India's tariffs, basically 95% of India's customs duties. So that would have a tremendous impact on not just the tariff revenue, not just the tax revenue for India, because it's a large source of revenue for the government's expenses, which will then impact the social programs that this newly elected government wants to have. But it will also have a really drastic impact in areas like agriculture, where we have almost two-thirds of our population depends on agriculture. And with the manufacturing sector, it's the same problem. The small and medium enterprises and workers will be impacted by the quality of jobs that are created when we have an export-dependent climate, which is quite clear now with the financial crisis, where all of the export competitive sectors in India have been hard hit. Many people have been laid off, and these are usually the lowest at the totem pole, the contract workers. So we have a real concern about workers on the ground as well with this kind of tariff regime. Well, there's a clear interest by the European Services Forum and the large corporate lobby that is around Brussels that is pushing aggressively for this model. So you can look at the financial services or the car manufacturing lobby, which is actually a kind of concern now, I'm hearing, in terms of what the impacts may be with the EU-Korea agreement that has been signed. But so we are aware that there are corporate interests from Europe that are demanding this. Within India, we do have now transnational corporations also that are Indian that are looking to get investment and services commitments in the EU. Because the EU has 27 different rules on services and on investment, this is an area where they want more market access. And obviously for any of the exports that India faces non-tariff barriers in that are not related to customs duties, they also face problems there, so they want access.